cost billions, but Birmingham has got blinged up. The aim, attract big business, big brands and make big bucks. COVID was not part of the plan. A year in, the economy battered, businesses here had a lot riding on today's budget, especially those that have hardly traded for a year.
What are you going for?
Chamomile at the moment, calming.
16 staff are currently on furlough at this bar and cafe. The scheme being extended is welcome, but still costly.
How much is furlough costing you, if you don't mind me asking?
All in with pension and holiday and everything, probably about £1,500 a month.
So furlough isn't free then?
No, furlough's not free.
Big sums, and there's an even bigger bill Jen has stacking up.
The landlord is the big issue. Over the last year, so March to March, I've paid 6 months of the rent, and I asked them if they'd be willing to go halves. They give me 3 months rent free, and I would pay the 3 months that I owed when we reopened. And I haven't heard anything since then, so I owe probably, I think it's about 25,000.
Mr. Chancellor of the Exchequer.
Sitting down to watch today's budget, anxiety. The Chancellor announced a raft of measures to help small businesses. The first, a grant of up to £18,000 for leisure and hospitality firms, a restart grant.
If you got the full 18 grand, how much of a dent would that put into all the costs that you've racked up?
It would probably, help us catch up, which is great. That's a massive amount of money. But then, again, you think you're taking this money and just giving it to your landlord, and they will expect that money to be paid in rent at that point, rather than used to actually restart the business, which is what he's saying it's for, to stimulate the economy and restart.
Other announcements that help Jen, VAT relief, business rates relief and alcohol duty relief.
So all in, how was this for you?
I guess kind of what we'd hoped would happen for the short term. I think a lot of what he's done is sensible and what some people have asked for. There's a lot of question marks over, I think, for a lot of people as to what they're going to have to pay back at the end of this. So, nothing can be a silver bullet, but I'm hopeful that some of that will go to helping us recover.
Broadly, today's budget was welcomed by business. But walking around the empty streets of a recently rejuvenated city, you notice a lack of customers.
The return to work was always going to be a gradual process. The Chancellor knows that. That's why he's extended the furlough scheme for so long. But there's a bigger question now. After a year of lockdowns, a year of working from home, a year of online deliveries, is it possible we're now at the point where the way that we live, work and shop has changed forever? And if that is the case, what does it mean for a place like this?
The view from above, change is coming.
And so we're going to see a real change in city centre use. And we're going to see initially a decline in spending in city centres. So they're going to have to adapt quite quickly to this change.
For retail, it was what wasn't in today's budget that was of concern.
This is the first time I've been back after 6 months, and it's heartbreaking.
COVID forced Mark to shut his shop after 20 years. Today, he didn't just want business rate relief, but reform. Level the playing field between online and on the high street, he says, or it's doomed.
Having a shop, that helps to build a community, helps to bring people into a city, then it helps to create an ecosystem. And then, then that brings in other shops and other businesses, and you get a snowball effect.
We've just got to help rebuild confidence now in the consumer so they can get out, go shopping, get out into the theatres and the cultural sort of institutions. It's not going to be easy, but I think the budget today certainly will help.
The economic hope is that life will soon return to our town centres. Well, that's the hope. The fear, did today do enough to stop the city centre lights going out for good?